Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Live here, and Felix, as you can rightly see. And we're here to talk about what we consider to be the most exciting games coming in the month of December to the Switch and Switch 2. Some of which are already out. Last week, it was busy. Last week was busy, and it's only going to get busier from the looks of it.
10 videos, Alex. That was incredible.
A lot of videos.
So,
a lot of soup.
Yeah, why don't... A lot of soup. The first game is not soup. It is Marvel Cosmic Invasion. It came out the 1st of December.
Yes.
And I got to do the video version of this. This came out on both Switch 1 and Switch 2. I tried out the Switch 1 version, but on the Switch 2 ran totally fine. I only had one crash, which I don't know why that happened. But it's a beat 'em up with Marvel characters. You have this tag team system where you can like tag out the character you're controlling for another character. There's a single player mode. You can play it multiple people together if you want. I've not gotten to try to do that. If you want to know more about it and also other games that are already out, we'll have links to the game's reviews down in the description below.
We certainly will, including the next game, which is Assassin's Creed Shadows, which came out on the 2nd of December. This was, I mean, it was a bit of a surprise announcement. I don't think anyone expected this to be coming out, certainly for the Switch 2, this early. And honestly, it runs really brilliantly. You know, it's obviously it's definitely taken a hit compared to something like the PS5 version of the game. You'd be a fool for thinking it would look exactly the same, but this thing runs really fantastically on Switch 2, I would say. And I've actually been really enjoying it. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game since Black Flag, which was Assassin's Creed 4.
That's the only one I've played as well. It's Black Flag. I don't know why that one, but that one was just, I feel like
that one
so many people
it was the dog's what's it really was. But I did play the first one, the second one, and Brotherhood as well. But yeah, 4 was my favorite by far. And yeah, we've got a review, so you can get even more opinions rather than sitting here and us having to do the hard work for you.
On the same day, Red Dead Redemption also got a Switch 2 edition.
Yeah.
So it already came out on Switch 1 back in 2023, and now we have the Switch 2 edition, and I've played both, and I will say, wow, very nice upgrade indeed. The biggest takeaway from this version is that it now supports mouse mode, and while I enjoy walking around and riding on my horse with a controller, using a mouse for gunplay is so much more fun. Because instead of it being like, oh, I just press and then it locks on because the other thing is too hard. I know you can turn it off, but it's not. It's just very finicky to try and aim with a joystick. Like just being able to switch to mouse controls, and it's seamless. It just works really, really good and has upped my enjoyment of the game. It also just runs flawlessly at 60 FPS. There has been a few glitches here and there. For example, when you walk into the bar, the piano man keeps standing up on his chair and then goes down every time. I don't know if that was in the original game. I don't remember it being in the Switch 1 version of the game. But I have heard reports that there are a little bit of glitches in this new version. But if you already owned the Switch 1 version, this Switch 2 version is free. So there you have it. We also have a mini review out on the channel down in the description.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, I remember playing the original Xbox 360 version, and what you said about the aiming, I think it might just be the way that they've implemented it, because obviously stick aiming can be superb and smooth and everything. I don't think it was a priority. I remember the gunplay in GTA also being similarly poor, shall we say. So yeah, the mouse absolutely fixes that. Is there any motion aiming?
There's not motion aiming, unfortunately. I don't know why,
Rubbish.
but it seems people are also quite upset about that.
Yeah.
It should be there. That obviously probably be the best way to play. But mouse controls is really fun. It's I mean, it also works when you're just riding and doing everything else, which is nice because the camera kind of follows you when you're riding, so you can't really look into the distance. But when you use the mouse, it doesn't do that. So you can kind of just look into the distance and keep looking. It's nice.
Are there any motion aiming features in the next game?
Not that I know of. Octopath Traveler 0 came out the 4th of December, also on Switch 1 and 2. I also got to do the video version of that one, so I'll give my quick thoughts about it. It is not like as good visually as Octopath 2. I mean, it is because it's now on Switch 2, and that just looks better. I really hope we get a Switch 2 version of Octopath 1 and 2. But it plays a bit differently, that you only have one main character that you're always controlling, but you can now have up to 8 companions instead of the usual 4. And how it works here is kind of also like in Marvel Cosmic Invasion, that you're kind of tagging them out. But the thing is that they're getting battle points and stuff like that while they're tagged out. So they're all like there on screen. When you're running around in the overworld, you also have these 8 characters. But it's also a really, really long game. It's over 100 hours, which absolutely insane. And that's, yeah, because this was kind of like a mobile game, but it's like being re-envisioned now. So it has tons of content from all the updates that mobile version got over the years. Yeah, it's a solid game. It has also this town building mechanics where you can, so normally you go out and do quests and find other companions for your party, but you can also return to this town where you can get those companions to live there and build it, kind of like a city builder to an extent.
It's Tarrytown.
Yeah, it's really cool. Exactly. I didn't play a whole lot, but from what I played, it's Octopath Traveler. So if you like that, as I do, you're going to have a great time with this one.
Sounds good. Almost as good as the next game, 4th of December, on both Switch and Switch 2. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Now, as anyone who's been keeping an eye on the channel will know, I do have some reservations about the game, but overall I do still think it is really, really excellent and absolutely stunning. Like, when the lighting hits correctly, it is drop dead gorgeous. I don't think we've seen a game on Switch 2 like it. And even the Switch 1 version runs surprisingly well.
It runs on Switch 1.
Yeah. Definitely not what we initially saw, like the initial trailers they showed. Those were a lot sharper than what we ended up with. Don't know why, we could speculate forever, but really good games. Check out the review. I really enjoyed it. And you've played a little bit as well, haven't you?
I've played a little bit over the weekend. Now I was down visiting my grandma's. I didn't have a whole lot of time, but from what I've played, it seems really good. It seems it's Metroid. I used a lot of time finicking around with the controls, figuring out, okay, I actually want the camera to be motion aiming, but still using the stick layout. Took me a bit of time to find that, because it says like, oh, we have 2 control options, and I didn't like either of them. So just use the camera, and you can adjust everything, like the sensitivity, and it just took me a bit of time. But yeah.
They don't make it super clear, unfortunately. But yeah, you want like the dual stick and then turn on motion aiming, and that's the way to go, at least in my opinion. Also on the 4th of December, we have Sonic Racing Cross Worlds has finally got its Switch 2 version. Now, admittedly, neither of us have played the Switch 2 version. I played the Switch version. And it was a good time, but I do feel it was being really held back on Switch 1. So seeing it running on Switch 2, vast improvement. And it's sort of like, it doesn't feel like a lesser version, if that makes any sense. It sort of feels, well, it certainly feels a hell of a lot closer to like the PS5 version, whether it's exactly there or not, as I haven't had hands on with either version. But it's just nice, because I was a little bit worried that this would be held off and off and off and off and off, and we would get it next year at some point. But no, they've done it proper, and it's out now. So that's good. What isn't? Oh no, it is out now.
It's out today.
Yeah, Skyrim.
Out of nowhere.
Anniversary Edition.
Yep.
Obviously, Anniversary Edition also came out on Switch 1, but this is the Switch 2 version. The trailer shows nothing but 30 frames a second footage, which is a bit disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. I think the Switch 2 is perfectly capable of running it at 60. I mean, maybe it runs at 60, it's just the way that the trailer's been encoded. That's happened before. But having said that, I feel like they would have just mentioned if it ran at 60, I would have thought that would be a selling point, but I don't know.
Yeah, not played Skyrim yet. Maybe this Switch 2 version will make... Yeah, there's just so many other games right now, and it being, 14 years old?
Oh, yeah, something like that. Yeah, 2011, because it came out in 11/11/11. Yeah, it's been released on everything, so I suppose the Switch 2 version isn't that surprising. But at the same time, the Switch 1 version works fine on it. There was no need to do a Switch 2 version, so it's quite pleasing that it is. And it's a free update as well, which... that is 2 thumbs up from me. What about the next game, Felix? 9th of December.
Ultimate Sheep Raccoon. Yes, this
it's coming to both Switch 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's kind of like a sequel to Ultimate Chicken Horse. If you don't know what that game is, it's like a party game. You can also play it online with friends, but like on the couch. So essentially, you're racing to get to the finish of like a course like platforming. But if everyone gets to the end, no one scores points. Then players take turns to add obstacles to this course to make it more difficult. And if you reach the end of this course, then, well, you will get a point if your friends did not reach, or like if one of them died and stuff like that.
So you want to sort of make it harder, but attainable for your specific skill set.
Exactly. It's like the game Horse, you know. And there, I also read there was something about like the game Chicken. I don't know the game Chicken, so I can't say for sure, but fun wordplay.
I mean, isn't Chicken just like trying to encourage people to do something that gets riskier and riskier?
Maybe.
That's
yeah.
like, you know, sort of, who can step nearest the cliff face or something like that. From the top.
Well,
if
it won't be
it's
me,
at the
'cause I
bottom,
don't like
actually, no.
heights.
Still don't approach a cliff face from the bottom. That can still be very dangerous. Falling debris,
But
not a good idea.
in Ultimate Chicken Horse, there's also two other characters, a sheep and a raccoon, and this is now the second game. But here, it's a racing game where you're trying to race against your companions. It's up to 8-player locally.
I like that.
So that's pretty cool. Not a lot of games do that. And yeah, it looks like you also add obstacles to this. I don't think it's like, oh, you have to be the only one who reaches the end of this, at least from what I saw, but there's different power-ups. So yeah, to me, it doesn't seem as cool as Ultimate Chicken Horse, but, you know, they're trying something new with the franchise, and I don't think people expected a new entry in the series, so that's really nice. And it's coming to Switch 1 and 2 the 9th of December, which is today.
Yay! Yes, but the next day... It's a bit of a blessing and a curse.
I'm so excited. No.
I'm so excited because it's my birthday, the 10th of December. But
that makes sense. Congratulations.
On the 10th of December, we have Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Dimension, the DLC. And it's coming to Switch 1 and 2. And just a little insight. We like to highlight the ones that we want to specifically talk about. This one's been left blank because... I'll be honest, I've just not been impressed by what we've seen for the DLC. It's £25, $30, and it's just small chunks of like the same world that we've been seeing, you know, that we've been playing the entire time. And yet it's desaturated, you know, like that's the only major difference. I do like the they're like playing off. There are some Pokemon that are like super over-leveled, like over level 100. I like that idea. That's a really cool idea. But I'm just not excited. I'm just not excited, and I know this is meant to be the most exciting games, but we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Pokemon DLC.
Exactly. I mean, it is coming out, and we thought people should. No, we might not be the Yes. I'm quite excited about this next game, which very recently was announced. Like, oh, it's coming to Switch 1. It's I don't know exactly how to pronounce this. It's Despelote. I don't know. Despelot. It's a game that takes place, as Alex put it, pre-Felix. It takes place in 2001 in Ecuador. And it's about like when football was really big there. I don't know if it's still big because I'm not from Ecuador. I actually don't know a lot about the country. I know that they speak Spanish. So that I can understand. And football, I'm quite into football. I watch it quite a lot. So I think it looks really nice. It has a really unique art style with like different colored backdrops, and you're going around kicking this football and kicking a bottle and all sort of stuff.
Lots of heavy dithering and stuff like that. It looks really cool.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we got really nice reviews when it came out, and now it's finally making its way over to Switch, which I'm really pleased to see. Terminator 2D No Fate is another game that, well, you might be excited to see on Switch 1.
It is, yes.
Well.
Coming to Switch 1, so backwards compatible on Switch 2 still. Isn't that a nice thing? You know, you can say, oh, it's only coming to Switch 1, but it's also coming to Switch 2. It just doesn't have a Switch 2 version. At least yet. Who knows what the future will hold. It's coming on the 12th of December, and this is essentially a 2D side-scroller, very retro, sort of old-fashioned arcade style, going through the events of Terminator 2. You play as Sarah Connor and the T-800, and it just oozes like that classic style. In a similar way to kind of Shovel Knight in a sense, but more arcadey. It's probably not theoretically the sort of game that could run on an arcade from back then, but it feels like it does. It feels how we remember. And it just looks it just looks like it's going to be great fun. It looks like it's really going to be tickling a particular part in the back of my brain. You know, there's a little bit of all sorts of different arcade games going on in there. You know, things like Metal Slug. I'm getting a bit of a sense from that. I just, you know, it's something for the old farts like myself. So how can I be disappointed?
A couple of days later, the 16th of December, we have a game coming out for both Switch 1 and 2. It's The Rogue Prince of Persia. This game looks really cool. I actually didn't know much about it before we had to record this chat, so I went and looked a bit into it, and it's essentially, well, it's in the name. It's a roguelite, but it's with Prince of Persia, and the movement seems really good. Like the combat, you're running on walls. The graphics are just really stylized, really nice. And you're essentially replaying this same day over and over again where, I don't know if it was something like the country was being invaded or something like that, and you have to save it. I don't know, it just looked really, really fun. Really like there was a lot of emphasis on the combat and how fluid it was. And like, oh yeah, you can now do this and this and this. They even said in the trailer, it was like being Jackie Chan. But in a video game, like the different moves you would pull, which I thought, yeah, that looks really cool. Sounds really cool. We're getting some cool Prince of Persia games, like the Lost Crown. Really,
Lost Crown was great,
reviews.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't expect the rug pull that you don't play as the Prince of Persia. Like, I thought, oh, maybe they're just going for a different style, different redesign. But no, you play as a completely different character within the world. At least that's what I remember. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. Before we get on to the next one, I'd just like to interrupt very quickly because there's something I forgot. Layers of Fear Final Masterpiece Edition. It's coming out on the 18th of December, only on Switch 2, and I loved the original. I've not played it on other platforms. I know the Masterpiece Edition has come out on other things, but, you know, I haven't played it, so I'm really keen to see it on Switch 2. The trailer looks good. I don't want to say too much about the game. It's horrifying. It's a really good horror game. So if that's not your cup of tea, then that won't be your cup of tea. I just felt I had to mention it because it's coming out in December and I'm really excited about it. That's the point of the video, innit? The next game on the 18th of December, coming to Switch 1 and 2, Cast and Chill. Felix,
Yes.
what's this fishing game about?
So I remember seeing this game a long time ago. Me and my girlfriend were like, oh, this looks amazing, but there's just one problem. It was Windows only, so we couldn't really play it. And then while we were making this, it's like, oh my god, I had no idea this was coming to Switch 1 and 2. It's a fishing game. It has a really nice art style and looks chill. I actually don't know anything about it. I don't want to know anything about it. It just looks exactly right up my alley.
I love it when other people use that like mentality because it's all too, like, especially in our line of work, it's all too tempting to get like to understand everything and to appear knowledgeable. But sometimes it's just nice to go in blind, get a vague idea, and then go in and just be like, okay, now let's experience the game. So I'm fully supporting you in that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's time to fish.
It's
not just in Stardew
That's
Valley.
the tagline for the game. It's time to fish.
It's also time to Factorio on Switch too.
Yes, our final game, Factorio. Now, this, it's been available on Switch 1 for quite a while now. I seem to remember them announcing the Switch 2 version. It's also getting, obviously, a resolution bump. It's claiming 4K. Whether it's proper 4K or not could be upscaled. We don't know. But also mouse controls, which is really, really nice because it's just the sort of game that really does require, well, it doesn't require mouse controls, but it makes it a heck of a lot easier. Atari, if you're paying attention. Roller Coaster Tycoon classic mouse controls, please. Switch 2 version. But yeah, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that this because I've got a friend who's very big into his Factorio. So if you're watching, hello. But yeah, those are our picks. Let us know if we've missed anything really important with a comment down below. And be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo-related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
It's also getting, it's also getting 4K graphics. So you giggling, you threw me off.